During a normal production workflow, you'll sometimes find there to be situations where you're needing a detailed accounting of your scene. Maybe wanting to view a list of the objects that have been made, or getting an accurate idea of how large your scene has gotten as far as the overall weight of your geometry. 3ds Max offers a location in the program where you can quickly and easily go for that information. It's called the Summary Info page, and it contains a complete breakdown of pretty much everything in a scene. The objects, the lights and how they're being controlled, even the scene materials are listed, including any and all maps that have been built into those skins. Let's take a look at how it all works using a file named Summary Info and Object Properties. You can find it in the Working Files folder for this chapter. To get to the Summary Stat page, you'll click on the Application menu, hold your mouse on the Properties listing on the left-hand side, then once opened, choosing Summary Info in the right-hand side column. The dialog contains tons of information. You've got your scene totals located on the upper left. This area indicating the number of scene objects and other important type elements listed by their specific classification. Shapes, lights, number of cameras, etc. To the right of that are the scene's mesh totals, broken down by both total vertices and total number of faces. You've also got a listing for the amount of scene memory that's been both used and what's still available. And to the far left, if you've rendered your scene, you'll have information pertaining to that. Length of time for the last frame that was rendered, how long it took for the entire animation to render out, and if you've done anything in video post, how long that specific render took. In the description category directly below that, you can enter notes that provide specific details of your scene, or maybe a to-do list for the things that still need to be done. This comes in especially handy when passing along a project to a coworker who will then pick up where you left off. So for an example, I'll type in "Next, animate the scene." At the bottom, you have a section entitled Summary Info, where you'll find a more detailed breakdown of your scene contents sorted by category. You'll see the individual objects, their specific type of geometry, their face counts, information on both lighting and motion blur, whether they're currently hidden or frozen, and the name and type of material that's been applied to them. Below that, you'll have individual categories for your shapes, if you've created any cameras, or if you've added any lights. Then, at the very bottom, a specific listing of each object's material, including not just the type of material that's been applied, standard, multi-sub-object, etc., but also an inventory of whatever maps might have been used to create that material. So it's obviously a very thorough list of what's happening in your scene. Now, if you're instead looking for the specific details and controls on or for an individual object, you can do that directly on the screen. You'll simply select the object, then right-click, choosing from the menu Object Properties. In the dialog, up at the top, you'll find the object's name and wireframe color, which can both, by the way, be changed directly from inside the list. You'll also find the object's XYZ location in the scene, the total number of vertices and faces on the object, and then a little further down, a list of individual display and rendering controls. Down at the very bottom on the right-hand side, there's also a couple of different blurring options that can be applied to the object. So a lot going on, both at the scene level and the individual object level. Next time you need specific details about your scene, now you know where to go.